So, what are the kind of top five social media tools that I use? It's something that a lot of people ask me what I'm doing with social media, who I outsource it to, and stuff like that. And I've obviously got people who say, something's not right there, this, that, and the next thing. So, one, social media is a hard thing to do and keep on top of and consistently put out enough information to make people want to follow you, and that's a hard thing to do. So keeping on top of it, I think the only for me, I don't outsource any of it. I use a lot of different tools, which I'm going to go through in a moment. And the reason I use those tools is because I was doing it all manually and it was a lot of grunt work, and I like automation, and where possible I'm always happy to use automation. So the first tool that I use for social media is Linked Helper. So you go to linkedhelper.com, and it's a great tool that allows you to automate a lot of the kind of tedious tasks on LinkedIn. Now, it only works for LinkedIn, and some of those tedious tasks would be endorsing folk, sending a message out to your recently added connections, viewing people's profiles, and things like that. There's a lot of different things it can do. It can also remove people based on certain search terms. You can also add people based on certain search terms. There's a whole lot of automation out there that allows your LinkedIn profile to be viewed by a lot of people. Now, there's no special button you push and in comes all these followers or whatnot. I think with any social media platform, you always have to make sure that you're posting good, engaging content if you want to build that audience. But Linked Helper certainly does a lot of the grunt work on LinkedIn and works very well, and something I've used for a number of years now. There was previously I think it was called Autopilot for LinkedIn, and I think LinkedIn actually got a hold of the guy and made him shut it down. And there has been similar other ones over the years as well, and they all do a great job in automating a lot of that kind of grunt work, which then frees up a lot of time for you to then be able to make videos or post engaging content. So there's no real excuse on LinkedIn if you're using Linked Helper. Personally, I use a virtual computer to run Linked Helper so that it runs 24/7, and I just go in and update the settings. Now, I do have a full tutorial on Linked Helper, which you can click on the link here, and it will show you how it all works, and everything that you can do on Linked Helper at present. So make sure you have a look at that. So that's my number one tool. Second tool would be Sprout Social. Now, that's just a personal preference of mine, and I'll tell you why it's a personal preference first of all. Now, there's very similar tools like Hootsuite, Content Cal, and many other social media scheduling tools that will allow you to kind of set your things, your posts up for the next week on a Sunday night, for example. So if you're sitting on a Sunday night, 7 o'clock, bored, there's nothing on telly, then you can schedule all your social media posts for that week using one of these tools. Now, what I like about Sprout Social is, if, for example, I've done a great talk at, say, Search Norwich, which I have been to in the past, great meetup, and I want to repost that video to let other people see it. Now, what I can do with Sprout Social that I can't do with the likes of Hootsuite is I can schedule that to go out on, say, the 15th of July at 2:40 p.m. And what I can then do is continually add in other dates. So it could be the 15th of July, the 27th of July, the 4th of August, the 24th of August, and I can schedule the same post multiple times without having to go in and copy and paste the actual content of that post. So that is a great little feature that I love about Sprout Social, and that's why that is the number two tool that I recommend that you use. As I say, it's down to personal preference. There are others like Content Cal and Hootsuite and all the other ones that are out there that can work very well for you. So that just takes up it frees up a bit more time through the week, so you're not actively sitting there posting every time you want to post something. So I think that's quite a cool feature. Number 3 would be jarv.com, previously known as Mass Planner. Now, this tool works across LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and various other social media platforms. Now, what this allows you to do, and I'm going to mention Twitter as the example here. So if I want to set up JarV on my Twitter account, I could make sure that my Twitter account follows everyone who follows the likes of SEMrush, Ahrefs, OnCrawl, DeepCrawl, and all these kind of big SEO software tool providers. Now, what happens there is when this tool follows people, people will start to follow you back. If they don't follow you back, part of the settings in the tool is if they don't follow you back within a certain time period, the tool will automatically unfollow them. So it's a great way to build your audience up, and again, something you can do manually, but it's a lot of tedious hard work. So I think in terms of social media audience building, these or jarv.com is a great tool to use, and as long as you play within the limits of the tool, then you're not really going to get any kind of impact, and it's something that can work for you 24/7, 365 days a year. And I think you'll be very quickly surprised at how quickly you can build a real good following. The alternative to doing that is buying fake followers, which is never going to work well for you. You're not going to get engagement from fake people. So jarv.com has a lot of value to be added, and again, I've got a full tutorial on how that works, which I'll put a link to. So that is tool number 3 in terms of my top 5 social media tools. The fourth tool that I would use would be followlike.net. Now, I think out there, there's a lot of people doing social media, and they are creating engagement on there that's not necessarily the right engagement. They're not getting the engagement you may perceive them to have, or especially if you're starting out and you don't have a huge following, again, you're not going to get great engagement. So Follow Like is basically one of those kind of tools where there's crowds of people on there, where you pay a subscription, and you can put your tweets out there, your Facebook posts and whatever else, and it will get engagement, likes, retweets and things like that. And for me, I think you've got to, if something looks viral, it's got more of a chance of going viral. So that is quite a cool little tool that kind of allows you to give the perception to the audience that things are engaging, and then naturally you can start to then get some engagement through that as well as your audience grows and whatnot. So it's a great little tool if you want to give out the perception that you're getting a lot of engagement there. So I think that's quite a great tool and cost effective. And the fifth tool, now I've mentioned tools of how to create audiences, how to automate certain things. One thing I'm really bad at is the graphic side of things. And you have tools like Canva and stuff like that, which are templates, drag and drop builders and stuff like that can allow you to create really good engaging graphics and stuff like that. So I think using tools like Canva, and there's a few others very similar out there, that will allow you to create the perception that you're good at graphics when you're really not. And I think that is something that you really need to get a grasp on, as well as nice visuals or whatever it may be, to help encourage engagement and stuff like that. So that is another great tool for social media. There are loads of other social media tools out there. That is the top 5. I don't think you need to have every tool out there. I think scheduling, doing a bit of the grunt work in terms of building a following, and potentially sticking a graphic up are the key areas that a lot of people fall down on when it comes to social media marketing. So hopefully these tools do give you a little bit of help when you are trying to build up a good social media audience.